The first film I directed was a Western called Five Guns West. I shot it on a 9-day schedule at a ranch in the San Fernando Valley. I was very, very nervous. I had been very confident about my work as a producer, but as soon as I made the transition from producer to director, I became very, very shaky. I was so nervous I couldn't eat lunch, I think, for the first 5 or 6 days. The normal schedule for low-budget films in the 1950s was 10 days, simply 2 5-day weeks. And that was what I normally did. I undercut that a couple of times. I did Bucket of Blood in 5 days, and I did Little Shop of Horrors in 2 days and a night. And I remember Bob Towne, who went on to be an Academy Award-winning screenwriter, was a good friend of mine. When I finished, Bob said, "You must remember, Roger, making a film is not like a track meet. It's not how fast you go." And I said, "You're right, Bob. I'll never make a film in 2 days again."
What working in Roger's filmmaking environment teaches you is that there's always a way to do it. You know, if you can't do it the way it's supposed to be done, there will be another solution. You know, I mean, he's legendary for stories like the sun went down and they still needed a shot, so they got all the crew's cars and lined them up and turned on the headlights and got the shot by headlights. You know, something that no DP in the world would ever dream of doing. I mean, the light is all the wrong color, but the lab could fix it later. I mean, Roger knew all these things. You know, he's clever enough as a filmmaker to know that you can break the rules and get away with it. And so I think that's an important lesson to learn, that it doesn't have to be done by the book. It doesn't have to be done the way it's always been done.
He gives you the characters and some lines and the energy and tells you where to go, what to do, but he allows you to bring in some of your own dialogue. So the actors were running around doing research with the Hells Angels with our pad and pencil, watching them and getting our own dialogue and running back to Roger and saying, can I say this? Can I do this? Can I say that? And I'd already been studying writing in New York. My mentor had been a great writer, Patty Chayefsky, and Tennessee Williams is my cousin. And so I wanted to write. Roger giving me this opportunity, this freedom, and Martin Scorsese gave me this kind of freedom in the film Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. And I'm sure that Marty was taught by Roger to give actors the freedom.
My early films, and probably many of my current films, were what were called exploitation films, and I see nothing wrong with the statement. As a matter of fact, when Steven Spielberg did Jaws, Vincent Canby wrote in the New York Times, "What is Jaws but a big-budget Roger Corman film?" What happened subsequently is that the major studios began making the type of exploitation film I had been making, but of course they made them bigger, and I must admit they made them better.